going on, everybody? This is Who Dares Wins with JP. Um, so I wanted to talk to you guys about football. um, so recently I just been thinking, like, man, I really love sports. I love sports too, and I love the Pat McAfee show. Of course, I watch Stephen A. Smith, definitely first take every day. And I watched Get Up. Get Up in the morning with Mike Greenberg, with Greeny and the guys. So good. And the ladies. It's so good. I love it so much. But I love Pat McAfee. And the reason why I love Pat McAfee is because it's just a bunch of bros and I think some ladies sometimes, and they're just joshing about sports. Right now it's mostly football. So they're just like really going in around the NFL and college and yeah, I'm sure that eventually there'll probably be basketball and stuff too. But I think because Pat has a background in football, he focuses on that right now. And it's also football season, so I don't know what it's like in the off season. But he's been in wrestling, he's been in all these things. And as I was listening to it, I was like, oh, do I start another podcast where I talk about sports? What would that look like? And then I was like, what if I just do it in this? Like, I just go, like, part of Who Dares Wins is like, we talk about sports too. Like, do it afraid, right? Like, who knows? I don't know. I don't know anything about sports. I'm not a journalist or anything, but I do watch sports. I do care about it. And I don't know. I might have something to share. But I wanted to talk to you guys about, so, like, we're talking about sports. I'm talking about sports. And I'm thinking, right? I'm watching TikTok videos and I'm thinking about Tommy DeVito. So, if you don't know, Daniel Jones was our starting quarterback with the New York Giants, New York football Giants. Then he got hurt. And then Tyrod Taylor took over. Tyrod Taylor was like a top draft pick years ago, selected by Rex Ryan, who is a former New York Jets coach and then a coach of the Buffalo Bills. And he drafted Tyrod Taylor when he was a Bills coach. Before that, he was the Jets coach. One of the most famous draft picks he made as a Jets coach was Geno Smith. Geno Smith has been like a journeyman. He's been in the league for like forever, and now he's with the Seattle Seahawks, and he's doing fairly well. Um, but one of the things that I noticed is that Daniel Jones got hurt. So he hurt his neck or hurt his Achilles or something, right? He's out for the season. So he's done, right? And I don't think he's like a miracle man like Aaron Rodgers or Jesus. But so Tyrod Taylor takes over. Tyrod Taylor is a great guy. He's mobile, he can run, but he's a bit reckless or like whatever. He tends to get injured. And so very briefly, he was the quarterback of the Giants. And within like like not that long, he gets injured again. So he's injured again. And now the Giants are forced to go to their third string or run Saquon Barkley out of the backfield in the Wildcat offense, right? So the Wildcat offense is more known in college. It's where, like, you run it. It's it's kind of like specifically a running game strategy. And so, like, you hike the ball, you hike it to the running back, or you do like RPOs with run pass options. And that's where, like, you hike the ball, the quarterback gets it and he runs. If he sees wide receivers open down the field, he can throw. If not, he runs or pitches it to the running back. And it's very successful in college. And in some ways, it's growing in success in the NFL. Not that much, but definitely a lot more than ever before in the history of the NFL. So they pull up Tommy DeVito, get this. He comes in, he throws 2 touchdown passes. His first game is against the Washington Commodores or the Washington Commanders. I feel like in my heart they're always going to be the Redskins. We'll see what they do in the offseason. Will they change their name back? I don't know. But so the Commanders are playing, and I'm like, they sack Tommy DeVito 9 times. 9 times. That means so the quarterback is behind the center, and then he says hike, and after he says hike, he pulls away from the center, and before he can throw the ball or give it to the running back, they sack him. And when they sack him, that means they tackled him behind the line of scrimmage with the quarterback holding the ball. So if the quarterback's holding the ball and he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage, it's called a sack. Generally, there's a few sacks a game, right? Usually, the defense has a strategy and they get to the quarterback. Maybe they get a few sacks. Tommy DeVito was sacked 9 times. And you would think that he would be done, right? Like how would he get up and what would he do? But he got up every single time, dusted himself off, went back to the offense, and continued attempting to execute plays. Ladies and gentlemen, he did execute plays. He threw 2 touchdowns, a touchdown to Saquon Barkley and a touchdown to Darius Slayton. So what I'm thinking is Tommy DeVito the future for the New York Giants? I know they're talking about this on TikTok already, but I'm just I don't know. Could be. Get this. This is I think the last thing I'll say. Get this. Tommy DeVito is from New Jersey. He grew up in New Jersey. He lives with his parents, he doesn't pay rent. He doesn't really buy food. He has everything. He's in his childhood bedroom. He's got laundry and washer on site. And he's only 15 minutes from MetLife Stadium. So he grew up 15 minutes from MetLife Stadium, perhaps Giant Stadium at the time, East Rutherford, New Jersey. But 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Right? And now he's the starting quarterback for the New York Football Giants. Incredible. Threw two touchdowns, ran some, got hit, shaked himself off, got back up, got back in the huddle. Boom, let's do this. Ready, set, hike. You want to talk about doing it afraid? Tommy DeVito is the definition of who dares wins. He's doing it afraid. He's the third string quarterback. He's an undrafted quarterback. He wasn't drafted. He went to Syracuse. From Syracuse, he went to Illinois. He's like a journeyman. And then he's undrafted, picked up in a practice session on the practice field, part of the practice team, which means you're not on the roster. You're just there for practice. Or if you're on the roster, you're not a starter or you're not eligible to play in games. Daniel Jones gets hurt. Tyrod Taylor gets hurt. The Giants can't protect. They can't protect for nothing. They're like the Jets. And Tommy DeVito comes, those 2 touchdowns, runs some, and get this: the Giants beat the Commanders or Redskins. The Giants beat the Washington Commanders significantly. They sacked Sam Howell a few times. They got after Bijan Robinson. Antonio Gibson didn't even get in the game. I mean, when was the last time you've heard of McLaurin? And if you're listening to this, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about because I don't know anything about sports. I don't watch football. But the amazing thing is that this is it, man. This is it. Tommy DeVito with the New York Giants. Who Dares Wins podcast with JP. And that's what it is. So, this is my first episode talking about sports. Be sure to check it out. Yesterday, we had the New York Jets. Or the day before yesterday on Thanksgiving. No, yesterday. Come on, somebody. Yesterday, the first ever Black Friday football game. And I'll get back to you on that. I'll talk about Black Friday football in soon. Yeah. Thanks so much for listening. This was my shot at sports. I'm gonna do it afraid. Gonna talk about music, gonna talk about God, gonna talk about faith. This time we talked about sports. This is Who Dares Wins with JP. I'll see you next time.